On October 2, a Russian logistics train with 30 tanker cars moved along its scheduled route towards the Crimean Peninsula. For the Russian military, this railway was the last reliable lifeline. Constant Ukrainian attacks had made road convoys extremely risky, while Ukrainian sea drones had made maritime supply routes just as insecure. As a result, the railway had become the main channel for moving large amounts of fuel and other essential supplies south. This heavy reliance, however, created a massive strategic weakness. Unaware of the danger ahead, the train's crew continued their journey, all while a Ukrainian intelligence network tracked their every move. Within minutes, waves of explosive drones would be launched, aimed not at the engine or the crew, but at the highly flammable cargo they were hauling. The intelligence work leading up to the attack was both deep and complex. Ukrainian forces were operating in an area where Russian electronic jamming and poor visibility for drones posed major hurdles. To overcome this, they built a layered intelligence and surveillance system designed to focus communication signals in the target area, ensuring they could control their drones despite Russian interference. The final intelligence picture was pieced together from many different sources. This included optical and thermal imagery, commercial SAR, station-level GSM intercepts, and captured locomotive telemetry gathered from listening devices and electromagnetic analysis. By combining various intelligence sources, from satellite images to intercepted signals, operators built a complete picture of the train's movements. This allowed them to see through Russian camouflage, bypass signal jamming, and know the train's exact route and schedule. Based on this precise information, they calculated the perfect ambush spot and deployed 3 echelons: targeting, dive strike, and a third for signal backup and return sabotage. The weapon of choice was the Maluk 5-2, a modified kamikaze drone built to withstand high temperatures and the stresses of its mission. Each Maluk 5-2 had a range of 210 kilometers and was equipped with a dual guidance system that worked with both GLONASS and GPS navigation. Its links used AES-128 encryption and a satellite-based recall algorithm. The drone itself was small, weighing about 5 kilograms and made from polymer composites. It carried a special low-density explosive charge. This payload wasn't designed to destroy a target with blast force alone. Instead, its job was to puncture the fuel tanker and ignite the cargo. With a shockwave traveling at 9,000 meters per second, the explosive was perfectly designed to breach the tanker walls and set off a catastrophic chain reaction. The core idea wasn't to destroy the train with drones, but to turn the train's own cargo into a weapon. Ukrainian military planners saw the fuel wagons as self-igniting targets. The drones were merely the trigger for a much larger and more destructive chemical energy release. The fuel itself would provide devastating power. This approach meant that a relatively small and inexpensive investment in drones could cause a chain reaction with exponentially greater destructive force. This tactical choice allowed for maximum damage with minimal resources, showcasing a smart and efficient approach to modern warfare. The timing of the attack was calculated based on the day's train schedule for that area. On the morning of October 2, intelligence showed only 2 trains were expected. The first, a civilian cargo train, had already passed through before dawn. The second was the high-value fuel train. It had departed from the Tokmak Regional Control Center and was heading south toward Eurozhina. The train's manifest showed it was carrying about 150 tons of liquid fuel in its 30 wagons. The first 6 cars held aviation fuel, the next 12 had diesel, and the final 12 were filled with other industrial fuels. The locomotive was a powerful TE-33A diesel engine capable of reaching 100 km per hour. This made the train not just a supply asset, but an object of immense kinetic energy moving down the tracks. The attack began as the train entered a stretch of track that was deliberately chosen because it was congested and hard to reach. This was meant to slow down any Russian rapid reaction forces. The first Maluk 5-2 drone dove and struck the 14th wagon, a tanker filled with diesel fuel. The charge tore through the lower part of the car and the pressure ignited the diesel vapor. Within seconds, the fire started to spread. About 7 seconds later, the neighboring 13th wagon, carrying the more volatile aviation fuel, exploded violently, starting the first